Hey everybody, what's going on? And welcome to GNR Central. And we got some news for you guys today. So the biggest news that came out of Guns N' Roses world was that Duff McKagan released his second song, released the name of his upcoming solo record, and announced some tour dates, as well as did a short live set. So we're going to get to all that news. So let's get started with that. So on March 20th, Duff McKagan announced that his new record is going to be called Tenderness, which is the name of the first single that was released from the album. He also released a second song called Chip Away. Now, Chip Away is somewhat of a rail against cable news and how divisive the whole country is in the US. And he also talks about the almighty dollar. And Duff said that the song also highlights the fact that history repeats itself over and over and that we will all get past this together. Now, Chip Away follows the recent release of lead track Tenderness, and both songs are available as instant downloads when you pre-order the album ahead of its May 31st release date, which was also announced this week. So Duff McKagan's upcoming record will feature a total of 11 songs. Also available for pre-order is a special limited edition Tenderness deluxe book, which includes the album on 180-gram yellow and red starburst vinyl, includes the CD, and features an exclusive lithograph signed and numbered by Duff McKagan himself. The hardcover book contains 40 pages of photos from the recording sessions and also presents liner notes written by Duff detailing his experiences with each song and the project as a whole. Now, the vinyl features 10 tracks and a unique sequence carefully selected by McKagan and the album's Grammy-winning producer Shooter Jennings, while the CD includes 11 tracks. Now, Tenderness sees McKagan reflecting on his experiences traveling the globe over 2.5 years on the Guns N' Roses Not in This Lifetime tour. He encountered heartbreak, anger, fear, confusion, and divide on his travels during the tumultuous time in our world history. And McKagan channeled a collective hurt into the songs of monolithic power. So in a statement he put out, he said, "We're becoming divided at a time when we need each other the most," says McKagan. "When huge industries get replaced because of modernization, it's time to retain and bolster up those who get swept aside. Homelessness and drug addiction are avoidable in this country if we come together and get private and public cogs turning together in a positive direction. We can at least try to tackle mental illness while we're at it, but alas, we stump and lie, point fingers and divide. We're way better than this. And as a father, I must say and do something now because I love my girls and my wife and I love my country. And I feel like I must be strong and use my voice now. Do it while I'm able or perhaps never get a chance again." Now, the album was starting to be recorded about a year ago. So in early 2018, Guns N' Roses were off the road. And the album was mostly recorded at the Station House Studios located in Echo Park, California, where they wrote and recorded in between McKagan's tour with Guns N' Roses. And 12 months later, they're basically gearing up to do a North America tour. So McKagan also announced a list of North America tour dates, which are just limited to the US for now. So he's going to be starting May 30th in Philadelphia, followed by Washington, D.C., Boston, New York, Chicago, Nashville, Austin, Los Angeles, San Francisco, Portland, and Seattle. And I talked to Jeff, and it looks like he's going to be going to the Nashville show. Now, the size of the venues that Duff is playing, the Nashville venue is about 1,000 people. So he's not going to be playing huge, massive venues like he had been doing with Guns, of course. And just earlier this week, Duff McKagan and Shooter Jennings, along with Steve Jones of the Sex Pistols, performed some of the tracks off of Duff's upcoming solo record. They also sat down for a brief interview. So I've linked to that if you guys are interested in going and checking it out. There was, I think, one song that he hasn't officially released that they did play as part of that set. So there's 3 songs in total. And Duff also gave an interview this week to Forbes magazine. He talked a lot about Guns N' Roses. He talked about the songwriting to his upcoming solo record, and he talked quite a bit about mental illness as well. So he was asked by the interviewer, "I spoke with Slash a few months ago, and he said for him just sitting down and talking with Axl and clearing the air was the best part of the tour. So I'm sure it was a pleasure just being around the vibe where everybody is in such a good space." To which Duff said, "It's calm, but when it hits the stage, it's kind of like an old thing that we started with, which is we don't really F around. We don't F around when we play live, and it's real, it's dangerous, it's sweaty, and all of those things. We're trying to be the best band that we can be, and that's what we've always tried to be. And back in the day, we used to rehearse twice a day. We were trying to be the best. I think for ourselves first. I didn't know if people would understand our music back then." And then he was asked, "So when you look back on it with perspective, can you see now what others saw in it?" And he said, "Yeah, there was someplace I was many years later. Somebody played Guns N' Roses, and I heard it with fresh set of years. I hadn't played those songs in a while, so it must have been the late 90s, and it finally hit me. This record is amazing, and it took me a while to be part of that record, apart from that record and playing those songs to finally get it. We were just in it for so long, from 85 to 94, just in it, immersed in this thing that grew beneath us, grew huge, and I didn't have the means to really know how to handle it. And there's no how to handle manual for basically when your band blows up. And in my case, I took a lot of blame when I started writing about it for that book. It's so easy. I would write 4,000 words and be like, dude, that's the story you've been telling yourself for the last 20 years, and that's not the truth. How shameful is it? You're lying just to you and your computer, and my daughter is sitting next to me, and you can't lie to your computer and yourself. So if you guys want to read the full interview, I've linked to it down below. That does it for today's news. Thanks for watching, guys. Hit the like button and be sure to subscribe. Take care.
Hey, this is Dizzy Reed from Guns N' Roses, and you're watching GNR Central. Yeah!